Our current energy system in North America is declining in resiliency and reliability from many different factors, some of which are aging transmission and distribution infrastructure, increasing rise of cybersecurity threats and attacks, as well as major weather events. The number of major weather events has over doubled in the past 2 decades. It's an increasing concern all around. So as long-term investors, we're looking to back infrastructure solutions that are highly resilient and highly reliable. So in the context of our electricity grid and electricity system, this means in your home, when you go to flick on a light switch, you know that the electricity is there and the lights will go on. In terms of resiliency, it's the same exact thing, except that the lights will turn on in a major event, such as a hurricane or a storm. So this could be looking at distributed infrastructure investments, which can island off from the grid and provide reliability and resiliency resource. That would be microgrids, battery storage projects on a smaller scale, or solutions that deliver things like district energy to campuses or corporations. One example would be co-locating a battery with a solar project to store green electrons for later use. Another example of a battery investment decision would be putting the batteries near an urban load center to ease transmission congestion or conduct load shifting. Another way to think about batteries would be on a residential level per se, which is more difficult for us to gain investment exposure to in a hard asset sense, but there are a number of technological innovations or software solutions on the residential side. Wind and solar are going to be a very important part of our energy stack going forward. The EIA forecasts that we're going to double our amount of wind and solar capacity over the next decade. That's because the levelized cost of energy for these technologies has come down and our ability to deploy them efficiently has gone up. So we're creating a highly geographically diversified base of wind and solar. When you add in geographic diversity to these two technologies, you ensure that you're capturing the wind when it blows and the sun when it shines. The main thing that we need to adjust for when we're deploying mass amounts of intermittent renewable energy into our grid is adding complementary technologies such as battery storage or hydrogen, so we can capture the green electrons when and where they're generated, and then deploy them when our electric grid needs them. Renewable energy has a massive deployment opportunity, an opportunity as an investor to roll out a lot of infrastructure. In order to have a successful energy transition, we're going to need mass amounts of solar, wind, and battery storage. These assets are long-term, very stable assets that deliver the outcomes for us that we want from a financial perspective, but also share benefit across the energy transition.